So what a discovery service is? It is a process of identifying and locating services within the microservice architecture. It is crucial for building scalable systems with even though like the services are communicating dynamically with each other. Okay, so in microservice architecture, what happens is like our client communicates with the main running service. Like only one service is exposed towards the client. Okay, but what we have to do is like we need, let's say our user service is running on port 3001 and our product service is running on route 3002. So what our discovery service will do is like it will identify that these services are running up and are able to communicate with it. So what will happen is like our client will call this port and simultaneously we will fetch data from this up and running services. So to identify this, we need to create a discovery service. So we will build in app infra using the Nest CLI. Okay, so we will create a new app for our project. So I will start terminal. Okay, oh sorry, I will generate a new app which is a discovery app. Which package manager are you using? It is totally dependent on you. I used to use npm. Okay, so here you are able to see that my app is installed. So I will go to my discovery app. Okay, I will open it in VS Code. Okay, so till now you are able to see that we have one main setup, like it will have an app running on 3000. Okay, and we will have certain controllers and hello world service within it. Okay, so now we will create a discovery module out of this. So I will create a discovery service using this. Sorry, yeah. So we are going to make a REST based APIs. So that's for sure. We are not going to make any CRUD endpoints. So I'm clicking on no. Okay. What this action will do is like it will create a discovery module, discovery resources, which has a set of discovery module, discovery controller, and discovery service. Okay. So I think till now we are clear. First of all, we created an app infra, then we created a discovery module. Now what we will do inside the discovery controller, we will create a get method. We will create an endpoint where we are able to hit and find which services are up and running. Okay, so this method we will create in the discovery service, as we know that services are being injected in NestJS controller. Okay, we will create a service something like this. Okay, now we will go to discovery service. So first and the foremost method of doing something like this is like we have to make a method which used to scan port of a specific range. HTTP based applications are starting from 3000 to 9000. Okay, so I will scan the ports ranging from 3000 to 9000 and check which ones are open. Okay, and finally I will add all those up and running ports in our like I will create an array of this and store it in our one of the variables. Okay, so I'm simply going to copy paste the code. Let me enlarge the screen. Okay, and certain like okay, so what we will do, first of all we will mention the port range. Okay, so we are having the length of 9000. Okay, so we will start an array from 0 to array always starts from 0. Okay, so we require a range of 3000 to 9000 port scans. Okay, so first of all you have to create an array. Okay, so we have implemented this. Then we will call a specific port is open for service or not. Okay, so let's say this is the method. Okay, is port open method, it what it does, it accepts a port readily into the terminal, and using the .NET package we will scan whether the port is available or not. So we are going to install that package, and I will readily import net from net, something like this. Okay, so I have imported net from here. Okay, now we have the last okay, so first of all we are scanning the ports. Okay, and once the port are available for connection, we will start a socket. We will try to connect with the port applied. Okay, we will try to connect, and if at all it throws any error, we will resolve it as a false. Okay, so based upon the condition passed here, it will push the ports which are available for HTTP connections. Okay, now we have our main method like identify the HTTP service. So for this I will install one more package which is Axios. Okay, so what it will do is like once the ports are being identified, we are able to ping it by means of Axios. Okay, and if at all we are getting the response, we will push it in our in-memory variables. Okay, so once Axios is installed, yeah, we are going to import Axios. Okay, okay, so till now we are good, and just we will write a last method which is used to find a specific which is to return a specific port. So this method will be utilized later on. Okay, okay, so we can strictly just log this error straightforward. Okay, so I hope each and every method is clear to all. Okay, and we should also check whether the discovery module is registered within our app module. Yeah, so once this is done, we are simply going to start our application in dev mode. So I will do npm run start dev. Okay, so our application has started on port 3000. Okay, so I will be using Thunder client to see whether we are getting a required response. Yeah, so our main app is up and running. Now let's try to see if our discovery service is running. Okay, so here you are able to see that our port which is running, which is the main application, is running in port 3000, is up and running. Okay, so now what we will do is like, now what we are going to do within the discovery app, we are going to make two separate routes, one for the user and one for the product. Okay, so for that the command is nest generate app user. So it will create entirely a separate app for our user directory. Okay, and our discovery app has its own configuration. It will be pointing to 3000, and our user app will be pointing to 3001. Okay, and let's say we are going to create one more up and running service, which is product. So our application is divided into a main service app and two microservices, user and a product. Okay, so here you are able to see that the start command uh, is pointed to discovery app for starting our main service. So for starting a user, I think we can make use of the command like npm run start user. Okay, so it will start user, and we will start our product service. Just 1 second. The product service is pointing to 3002. Okay, so we'll start our product. Okay, and we will start our main application by using the start command. Okay, so we will make sure that each and every service is up and running. So 3001, this is a user service, this is a product service, and this is our main service. Okay, now we will call our discovery service endpoint, and let's see what is the output. So yeah, here you are able to see we are able to scan all the up and running HTTP ports, and we are able to discover all the running application. Now let's say our uh, product service is down due to some reasons. Okay, now let us hit the same endpoint. So we will come to know that 3002 port has expired and there are only two up and running services. Okay, so let's say now we kill our user service, so we are able to see that only our discovery service is running. So this is how basically a discovery service works. We will build more things on top of this, but for me it was important to explain the workflow of a discovery service, how it is running, how it is storing the scanned ports. Okay, now after this we will work upon internal routing mechanism. Is like by how means of discovery service we are able to call a user service by implementing a gateway service out of that. So that's it from this video. Thanks for watching my video. Do like and subscribe. Thanks.